the Lenovo ZUK Z1. This brings back the age-old question of if you should buy an older flagship if the deal's sweet enough. Well, let's find out again. Because if this is your first time here, or if you just can't remember, my name is Ash, you're watching C4 Retech, and here's my second review of the Lenovo ZUK Z1. Let's get started. So before we start, I highly suggest you guys watch this video. That's my review of the Z1 when it was launched globally over 6 months back. I'm not going to cover the basics here in this video. This is more of a how the Z1 holds up today, if it's worth the 13,500 rupee asking price. The build of the Z1, let's start there. The metal sides with the plastic back still holds up quite good. This is not the phone I reviewed, I just mean from a looks perspective it still holds up. Given that in the last 6 months, many brands have gone with metallic builds for phones in this price segment. In my review of the Z1, talking about the display, I had this to say. The Z1 sports a 5.5-inch Full HD IPS display that gives it a pixel density of 401 pixels per inch. This display is sharp, colors are accurate, viewing angles are also great, and it's bright, meaning I had no issues using it outdoors. There's a software option included that cranks up the brightness even further or adjusts brightness and temperature depending on what you want. Now, all manufacturers tend to hide a bit of the bezel thickness by leaving a little black area between the display and the painted side bezel. ZUK seems to have gone overboard here, and the black bars running around the display are an eyesore to say the least. To give you some perspective, here's the Z1 side by side with the Moto X style. The black bezels do seem a lot less ugly in this grey variant, doesn't really bother me here. The Snapdragon 801 chip underneath continues to be a great performer. 3 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of onboard storage sweetens the deal. The 801 is a 2-year-old chip, but it is a 2-year-old flagship chip. Given Qualcomm's issues with overheating on its mid-range chips, the 801 kinda feels tried and tested instead of just old. As far as day-to-day performance goes, it does manage to do a good job. Even with gaming, the Z1 delivers. When it comes to battery life, here's what I had to say in my original review. The battery life was amazing. I got over 5 hours of screen on time with the Z1. 5 hours might not sound great to you, you might get 5+ hours with another phone, but the fact is screen on times are very subjective. It varies based on your day-to-day usage. Say, if you're someone who watches a lot of videos, your screen on time would be a lot more compared to someone who games a lot. Me personally, my typical usage involves a couple of hours of calls, 30 minutes to an hour of casual gaming, say Sudoku, 8-ball pool or something, an hour of music via Bluetooth, and again another hour of videos, YouTube or streaming from my PC, 3G and Wi-Fi on all day with a lot of push notifications for social media and mail. So over 5 hours of screen on time is great for me, and the Z1 even lasts 2 entire days with this kind of usage. I can very easily get through these 2 days without having to constantly monitor the battery stats. And the battery life on this Indian variant of the Z1 is every bit as good as it was on the global variant I tested. It lasts, and it lasts a long time. Great stuff. Moving on, the Z1 also happens to be the cheapest phone to feature a camera with optical image stabilization. The 13 megapixel rear camera has an aperture of f/2.2, and under good lighting conditions, it shoots great images. Just like it did 6 months back when I reviewed this phone for the first time. The major change here though is the performance under low light. It's still not best in class, nowhere close, but the performance has improved greatly. It was close to unusable back then, but now I'll say the low light performance has been improved to acceptable levels. With video, the frame rate holds up, the footage is smooth, but I really wish Cyanogen could have added a bit of software stabilization as well, because as of now, some cameras without OIS seem to be able to shoot stabler footage. And again, talking about video, this phone does not support 4K video, 13 megapixels, and Snapdragon 801, the hardware is there, but for some reason Lenovo ZUK or Cyanogen seem to have disabled this. Anyway, the front-facing 8 megapixel camera gets the job done when it comes to selfies. Now with that, we get to the software. As of now, the ZUK Z1 runs on Cyanogen OS 12.1 built on top of Android 5.1 Lollipop, and the Marshmallow update is expected in the next few weeks. Being Cyanogen OS, you get the regular functions like a theme engine, an app themer, and more to customize the look and feel. Strangely, the home key doesn't double as a capacitive back key anymore. It used to when I reviewed the Z1 about 6 months back, but it doesn't anymore. The fingerprint scanner is quick even by today's standards. It's also accurate and works very well. Overall, CyanogenOS 12.1 on the ZUK Z1 is fast and fluid, apps open up quick and there's almost no lag. Multitasking is handled quite well too. The only disappointment here is how long it's taken Lenovo and Cyanogen to provide a Marshmallow update, and hopefully this shouldn't be a con anymore once it's made available later this month. So should you get the Z1? The Z1 is a well-rounded device that's held up quite well over time. The older flagship chip inside has aged quite nicely. Is 32-bit gonna hold you back? Not really, not in this price segment at least. The Z1 is a device that performs well, offers an above-average camera with optical image stabilization, a decent display, a good fingerprint scanner, excellent battery life, and all that at an asking price of 13,500 rupees. But there is one con that I talked about last time, and that was cellular reception. It's not bad, but it's not good either. I live in a place where I barely get any reception. I need to walk outside this office if I have to pick up any calls. And over here, it's worse than every other phone that I've tested. This is possibly in the lower 10 percentile. And so if you're in an area that has reception issues, then the ZUK Z1 will not be for you. That seems to have not been just an issue with the Chinese variant that I tested. It is still present in the Indian variant as well. So anyway, provided you're living in an area with good reception, this phone seems to be quite a decent deal. Is this Lenovo clearing the last stocks of the Z1 given that Z2 and the Z2 Pro are incoming? Yes. Does it annoy me that they didn't bother bringing it to India till now? Yes, it does. But like I said, that doesn't change the fact that it's still a solid buy in this segment, and I really hope that they actually bring the Z2 to India around the same time as the global or Chinese launches. Anyway, that's a rant, totally entire video in itself, I guess. So anyway, these are my thoughts on the Z1. Do you agree? Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you do want to pick one up, I'll leave a direct link in the description below. So I guess that's it for this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, vote it down if you didn't, and for more videos like this, hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. If you do want to help the channel out, consider changing your Flipkart and Amazon bookmarks to ones that contain our affiliate ID. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Till next time, this is Ash here from C4E Tech signing off. You guys have a great day. Bye bye now.